Just as a disclaimer, we want you to know that some of the movies that we will be reviewing were shot in a different time and era where people of race and sex were not treated equally. We understand this and hope you do too. The movies or anything that happened on the sets are not the views of this podcast or what this show is intended to be all about.
Exactly. And we want to give due diligence in presenting the movie and not the views of the cast or directors or anyone involved. But we also feel it's necessary to let the audience know some of the background information to get a feel for what was happening at the time of shooting the film. Again, we hope you understand that we do not agree with everything that went on, and we just want to give out the information. And with that being said, hope you enjoy the show.
Christmas, the whole Christmas season. Now, please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. They'll stand hand in hand, and those fools will start singing.
Welcome, welcome, Bahuramus. Christmas Day is in our grasp.
I must find some way to keep Christmas from coming.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a heel.
I must stop Christmas from coming. But how? The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea.
All right, guys, welcome to our holiday Christmas spectacular, the 12 Days of Christmas, or as we like to call it, the 12 Movies of Christmas. I'm your host, Jimbo, and my co-host and the happy little elf is...
Terrence.
So this is going to take place just like we did our Universal Monsters. We figured we went through and we picked out what we thought were probably 12 of the greatest Christmas movies.
Or at least the most watched.
Most watched. And you may disagree with us, that's fine. But we had to start somewhere. So to kick us off with our first one is going to be How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Terrence.
An absolute classic, of
Take
course.
It away.
How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Release date, December 18th, 1966. Its budget was $315,000.
Well, that's not a lot.
It's not. But then you look at inflation from 1966 to now, 2019, that's $2.5 million. So
that's a lot of chinga.
Yeah. This was directed by Chuck Jones and Ben Washam, which was the co-director. Writing credits, obviously, Dr. Seuss. Then we have Irv Spector, additional story, and Bob Ogle, who was also in on the additional story. So some of the writers. Technical specs. We're looking at a runtime of 26 minutes. Nice little quick something if you got kids you don't like to pay attention that much. And even if you throw in some
commercials, I think it goes a half hour max.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly. So. 30 minutes including commercials. Yep. And that's here in the U.S. because we don't know how their commercial length span goes overseas. Sound mix, mono, Westrex recording system. This is a color, Metro color. Aspect ratio, 4:3. Negative format, 35 millimeter. Printed film format, 35 millimeter. And now the awards.
And you know what's funny is this actually won an award.
It did, yeah.
And you're going to find out something very interesting about the award too, because those that don't know, the narrator and the voice of the Grinch in this movie is none other than Terrence, your favorite, Boris Karloff. So we figured we'd start off with this one to kind of coattail off of the Universal Monsters, because Terrence's favorite was Boris Karloff. We all know this if you listen.
It's great.
So
the award was the Grammy Awards 1968. Winner of the Grammy for Best Recording for Children, Boris Karloff.
Now, go ahead and tell him the interesting fact about the award, though.
Yeah, so we both got a chuckle out of this. So Karloff did not attend the ceremony, allowing his agent, Arthur Kennard, to accept the award on his behalf. Karloff later then visited Kennard's office, where he was presented with his Grammy, only to respond, "It looks like a bloody doorstop." He left the award by the foot of Kennard's office door when he left.
Can you imagine?
He won a Grammy.
Winning a Grammy, and then just say, it's
looks
a
like
doorstop.
And then he literally puts it by the door.
I wonder if he had that look on his face. It looks like a bloody doorstop. Like the Mummy.
Oh, man. Synopsis. The Grinch, along with his trusty dog, plots and schemes to steal Christmas from the Who's.
What was his dog's name?
I don't remember.
Max. Come on, Max. So let's go ahead and jump into the cast real quick. You have Boris Karloff, who was the narrator, and he also does the voice of the Grinch. June Foray was Cindy Lou who was uncredited with the voice. Del McKinnon was Max, with the voice, who was uncredited. And Thurl Ravenscroft, singer of You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch, who is also uncredited. Thing about that is the producer, let me think, what's his name? It's right here, Chuck Jones, and was produced by Chuck Jones and Dr. Seuss under the name of Ted Geisel. But Thurl Ravenscroft received no screen credit for his singing, an oversight Dr. Seuss attempted to rectify by sending letters to every major columnist in America identifying Ravenscroft as the singer of You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch. But he also took part in 2 other choruses, for the movie. But I thought that was really cool of Dr. Seuss to say, hey, even though we couldn't put him in the credits, this is the guy, every time you hear the singing, this is him,
Yep.
So he went to and who's not going to listen to Dr. Seuss?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
here's what's hilarious. Like, I grew up on Dr. Seuss books and everything, and I've seen all the movies and stuff.
The first book I ever read on my own was Green Eggs and Ham by Dr. Seuss.
Nice.
So
I saw a picture of Dr. Seuss for, I feel like the first time, not that long ago. That. And I was like, now that I think about it, I don't think because you say Dr. Seuss and what pops up in my mind is the books and the movies and everything, but not the actual, not him.
You say Dr. Seuss, and what I picture is, I picture a Mad Hatter from Alice in Wonderland with one of the big hats on, the big hats. But he looks kind of like Mr. Rogers.
He does,
I put both of those guys in the same category.
They have that same look and style,
right.
Very much so.
This cartoon sits at 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, which is saying something.
That really is.
But all the critics say it, and I quote, brings an impressive array of talent to bear on an adaptation that honors a classic holiday story and has rightfully become a Yuletide tradition of its own.
Absolutely.
I love this movie, but we'll get to that at the end. This film came out 3 days after Walt Disney died on December 15th, 1966.
Oh, wow.
So, wow. Boris Karloff would be the only British actor for the character of the Grinch until Benedict Cumberbatch took up the role of the Grinch. 2018, 52 years later.
I still need to watch that.
Really?
Yeah, because I've seen obviously this.
He does a really good,
and I've seen the one that with Jim Carrey, which was hilarious.
Oh, that's a great one too.
And I really do want to see. And you know what? This is the time to watch it. Yeah,
get you in the mood. Producer Chuck Jones, he loved Rudyard Kipling, he was inspired to cast Boris Karloff as the Grinch after hearing a recording of Karloff reading Kipling's Jungle Book stories.
Huh.
Can you imagine Karloff reading Jungle Book?
Man.
Then there was Mowgli.
Actually, it was interesting. I listened to an old version. It might have even been him because this was a long time ago. I downloaded an app on my phone that would have old radio casting of basically all these classic stories read over the radio. So I'm listening to these radio dramas, really. And one of them was The Jungle Book. And then after that one, I listened to Tarzan. They were all very I see how people got into them. Radio dramas are great.
Right. Throughout all the production character designs, they were based upon Dr. Seuss's books, original art. But Dr. Seuss thought that the Grinch looked more like Chuck Jones than the Grinch from his books. I thought that's hilarious. Also, Boris Karloff changes his voice when he speaks for the Grinch. He has his narration voice and he has his Grinch voice. So if you've ever, what I say is somebody has a phone voice.
Oh, yeah.
So if you ever walk into an office, you're talking to the secretary or whatever, and then the phone rings like, "Hello," and, it's just a total change. And I was like, "Why are you using your telephone voice?" They're like, "I'm not." Yeah, you are. You're not being normal. Dr. Seuss, he didn't want Boris Karloff to be cast either because he's going to make the Grinch too scary because coming off the tail. I mean, what was this, 1966?
Yeah, so it was
shortly after the Universal Monsters
he was in, yeah.
Right. So, let's see here. Thurl Ravenscroft, who he said sang the song "You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch," is best known for his voice as Tony the Tiger. I thought that was interesting. So he's been in all those Frosted Flakes commercials, you know what I mean, with Tony Tone.
They're great.
They said that he was. This movie is great. That he was picked to sing these songs because he had that deep bass or baritone voice, which came off very, very interesting, and he nailed it. And just the emotion that Boris Karloff, or lack of it, I should say, that he puts into the Grinch. When he's even the narration, you're just like. And also, the Grinch's eye color in this movie is red, and then for most of the movie, and then when you get to the end, when he starts having his heart grows 3 times, they change to blue, so it symbolizes the change in his outlook on Christmas, if you will. And then, lastly, in the poem, the Grinch lives 3,000 feet up Mount Crumpet. In the special, it's 10,000 feet. So, Terrence, why don't you go ahead and tell me your thoughts on this movie? This is going to be a little short episode. Some of these that we're doing,
super short.
We're going to have the cartoons, the holiday cartoon ones.
I mean, it's a 30-minute, little cartoon. So there's only so much we can pull from it.
Right.
But we had.
I could have pulled the animators, but you would have been bored to death because I'd probably still be talking about them, and they all deserve our respect. You know what I mean? So I don't want to take anything away from them. Guys.
I mean, animation in general is always been sort of this very interesting field, and not to take away from animators who animate today, but like old school animation. You had to put in a lot of work. And not to say that they don't nowadays. It's a whole different beast, though. So, like, a lot of it is just, it's a lot of digital work. But
back then, they probably didn't even have computers. It's probably the flip papers.
It's all hand-drawn,
Did you ever make one of those book things where you had the card, you flip it, and shows your brother gets a walk?
You use, like, the edge of your notebook.
Yeah.
Or you get, like, a stack of Post-it notes, and you draw a little cartoon on each one. But, definitely, like, It's colorful. It's enamoring. It's fun to watch. It's a classic. It's a staple to watch.
And it's a feel good movie too because really you got them people out there that are just grumps. I don't know any other word to say. They're just grumps, and and that's how I feel the Grinch was. He was just a grump.
Absolutely.
And did it ever really state why he was mad?
It didn't. No, not at all.
That I remember. He's like, them who's are at it again. He's up there tapping.
Oh, yeah.
And then he gets that idea when Max runs into the snow and he gets the Santa beard on. He just starts, there's that scene where he smiles and it just keeps curling and curling. His evil eyes go down. And I was like, man, I love this guy. One of my earliest Christmas memories that I can remember is I think it was at Service Merchandise one year, and I don't even know if that store exists anymore. But I got this Grinch doll.
Nice.
And it was the Grinch, that one.
Yeah.
Man. And I might even still have it somewhere around here. But that was like my favorite stuffed animal growing up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I watch this every year. It throws you back to your childhood, different time, different era. It's just a great movie. Everybody should see this movie.
And it's a cartoon that ages, like, it's, no matter what time you're like watching this, like what year you're watching this, it stays relevant.
Right, and they still show it on TV, syndicated TV. So
absolutely.
Every year, along with some of the other ones we'll be talking about, like Rudolph and Charlie Brown and all that, they still show a lot of these on TV, and that says something for as long as they've been doing it.
Yeah, they're just age-old classics.
And it even says something about this movie when Jim Carrey did they wanted to do a live-action movie with Jim Carrey, which he played fantastic Grinch.
So good.
And then they just re-released that other one, The Grinch, with Benedict Cumberbatch, which I saw. But to me, it's not this. You know what I mean? So there's just something about the original. I mean, you can say that about almost any movie, There's just something about the original. Don't touch 3, but don't remake stuff, right? Come out with something new. So, I definitely 10 out of 10 for me in this one. Must watch.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's 30 minutes, and why wouldn't you?
So
it's something. Even if you're not sitting down watching it, it's nice to have it in like the background while you're opening presents with the kids or whatever.
Well, because it's more of a poem, you know what I mean, that he's reading.
Exactly.
Basically, except when the Grinch talks, but just great. I don't know what else to say.
Oh, yeah.
So, this is going to be a shorter episode.
10 out of 10 would watch again.
Right, yeah. And if Rotten Tomatoes is giving it a 100% critic score, there's something to say about that, because I've seen some movies on Rotten Tomato that they just blow away and 0 out of 0. You know what I mean? But sometimes they get it wrong, too.
That's true.
So, well, with that being said, that's the end of our first 12 movies of Christmas, if you will. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned when we come back tomorrow
for
day two, which we will be discussing Home Alone.
Another classic.
Kevin! So until then, I think that's a wrap on this episode. And cut.